Today's quote comes to us from Harvey, Mackay, and the quote is a quote that I was looking for something about optimism. I'll get into that in a little bit. The quote is, "Optimists are right, so are pessimists. It's up to you to choose which you will be." Well, um, as I was thinking about what it means to maintain optimism in one's life and what it means to maintain optimism in one's pursuit, I thought I'd find a quote today that would kind of fit that sort of need that I have to think about that for the day. And I came across a bunch of different ones. This one spoke to me the most because it sort of stands in opposition to pessimism without actually standing in opposition to pessimism. Be a pessimist if you want to be a pessimist. It's up to you. It's your choice, right? We all have a choice. And in this case, I am choosing optimism over pessimism. That doesn't mean that optimism, for example, will guarantee that I win or achieve or accomplish something. It merely means that my attitude, which is an energy, is going to be directed more in the way of positivity and the possibility of using that positive energy for success. But of course, if I don't succeed, then there is the very likelihood that I'll learn something. And I think that is the other takeaway that optimism has, as opposed to pessimism. Optimism expects to learn, whether that is through accomplishment or whether that is through defeat and failure. The idea is that you will learn and you are on a journey of exploration rather than a journey of hating on everything. And nothing is ever right, nothing is ever good enough, nothing will ever work. Why even try? We all have our baggage, and sometimes our identities might be the things, if we come from marginalized backgrounds, where we allow those identities to sort of drive how we see ourselves in terms of that marginalization, and what we think we're capable of doing and what we're not capable of doing. So I try to buck the system and push people to move beyond the marginalization that may come from society, and see, is that marginalization also internalized? And if so, is that a form of pessimism that is holding you back in some way? All the isms are real, so we can't take that away from anything or anyone who's ever experienced them and has been harmed by it. And how do we channel, the harsh experiences that may exist into a maintenance of optimism? And that all boils down to a choice. And if you're in a moment of pessimism and you can recall this quote, perhaps it might stimulate you to make another choice in the midst of that crisis, where you can move into a state of optimism and hope without necessarily believing that the world is going to fall apart around you. So those are my thoughts for today. That's how optimism lands with me, how this quote from Harvey Mackay lands with me. Feel free to leave in the chat any thoughts that you have about how this quote lands with you. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.